Good morning, everybody, or good day. Great to be with you. Today we'll be diving into this holy text, the Zohar. We have many people already joining. We have, let's see, Marie from Boynton Beach. Hello, Marie. Carl from Pittsburgh. Hi, Carl. Frederick, all the way from Kenya. Sean from Melbourne, Australia. Philip from Yukon, Canada. Sylvie from Netherlands. And CD Kudri, sorry, I don't say a name there. Welcome, glad you're here. Someone from San Diego, North Coast Patty from Ohio, Annie from North Carolina, Julie from Utah, John from Michigan. It's really a pleasure to have you all here. Thank you for being with us. Today we'll be reading from the section, the title, the section portion, the letters of Rabbi Hamnuna Saba. Continuing, we have read a few letters already. If you recall, the format is sort of, each of the letters comes before the Creator and is saying, you know, I have these great qualities. Great Creator, please create the world with me. And in turn, the Creator is saying, yes, you have these great qualities, but you also have this flip side, this other side that goes with it. For every good quality, there's a drawback, something that will confuse the people on the path to spirituality. And so he kind of says, yes, you have these great things, but there's also these other qualities that will cause confusion, so I can't create the world with you. And there's one exception, the letter Bet, which we'll get to eventually. So we'll be going to that. A few more people joining. Hong Kong, Provence, hello, Lilo. Bucharest, Soren, Mabel from Mexico. Glad you all were able to join us. Before we get started reading, let us hear a few words about intention of how we should approach this great text from Dr. Michael Laitman.
We have to learn, we have to remind ourselves, again, before the reading the Book of Zohar, that the book is written by a group of Kabbalists. And the way it is written, and this is how we can comprehend it. For this, in order to understand this book, we have to unite, find the common points between us, try to reveal the connection between us, because only in connection between us will we be able to reveal the book, open the book. Everything that the book talks about is in between the souls, in between our desires. If we will want to be in bestowal towards one another, then our souls will open. And inside the connections between those souls, we will reveal the Creator, the light. The light that keeps us, holds us together and unites us. This is how we reveal the light. So first and foremost, we have to think about unity, about guarantee, about the principle, love thy neighbor as thyself.
Okay, with that intention, let's get started. We're on item 27, the letter Pe. The letter Pe entered before him. She said to him, O Lord of the world, it is good for you to create the world with me. For the redemption that you are destined to do in the world is inscribed in me. For it is pedut, meaning this is another word for redemption. That is, the redemption is pedut from our enemies and begins with the letter Pe. For this reason, the world should be created with me. End quote. He said to her, quote, "You are comely, but pesha, meaning crime or transgression, is written in you in concealment, like a snake that strikes and pulls its head into its body." End quote. Similarly, one who sins bends his head, hiding himself so as to not be seen, and stretches his hands out to sin, like the shape of the peh, whose head is bent into her. And he also said to the letter ayin, in which the word avon, meaning sin or transgression, is written. And even though she said, "There is anava," meaning humility or humbleness, in me, the Creator told her, "I will not create the world with you." She departed from him. Explanation. The letter Pe said that the redemption that is destined to be in the world is inscribed in her. Hence, she is worthy of the world being created with her. It is so because the exile and redemption in the world depend on the nukva, since when the nukva has no structure of gar, Mochin, Israel are exiled from their land, the land of Israel. This is because the land of Israel below corresponds to the land of Israel above, the nukva of Zeranpin. And as there is separation above between Zeranpin, Israel, and nukva, his land, Israel below are separated from their land. And when the children of Israel improve their ways, they cause Israel above to bestow upon his nukva, his land, and build her with Mochin, and unite her with her face to face. At that time, the children of Israel below are rewarded with redemption, and they too return to their land. And those Mochin of Gar of the Nukva, which Zeranpin builds, come to her clothed within Nesachod of Zeranpin, and the Moach of Chokmah of the Nukva is clothed in Netzach, the Moach of Binah is clothed in Hod, and the letters Ayin, Pe, and are Netzachod of Zeranpin. This is the argument of the Pe, Hod of Zeranpin, that, quote, "The redemption that you are destined to do in the world is inscribed in me, since the Mochin of Nukva that bring redemption to the world are clothed in me. Hence, if you create the world with my quality, there is no doubt that they will be fit to arrive at the end of correction." But why did the Pe consider herself better suited for the creation of the world than the Ayin? After all, the Mochin of Nukva clothe in Netzachot, Ayin Pe, and they are essentially a Netzach, which is Ayin. It is because, quote, this is the Pedut, meaning redemption, since the Pedut is only in the quality of Hod, or Pe. And regarding the Pedut, first, Ima redeems the Nukva from the judgments, and then the Nukva is worthy of redemption. It is written, quote, "Like an eagle that stirs up its nest, that hovers over its young." We learn that the eagle is merciful to his sons, saying, quote, "It is better for the arrow to permeate me than to permeate my sons," since the Ma is unfit for Mochin except through the correction, when the mother lends her clothes to her daughter. The Nukva is restricted at its source to not receive the light. That is, since the first restriction, she could not receive any Mochin. However, because Ima went outside of Rosh Avarikantin and became Vach without a Rosh, her letters Ele, Aleph, Lamed, and He were drawn to the Nukva, and the Nukva too was built in the name Elohim. Ima is called an eagle who is merciful towards his sons, Zon. Hence, she went outside, and her level was halved into Vach without a Rosh, an arrow. As it is written, "It is better for the arrow to permeate me." By that, she redeemed the sons from the judgments, and they became fit for reception of Mochin in her vessels, Ele. This is the meaning of Pedut and Pidion, both meaning redemption, when Ima redeems the Nukva from her judgments. Were it not for that, she would be unfit for Mochin. This redemption applies primarily to the left line of Nukva, where the judgments are present, as well as to Hod of Zeranpin, the letter Pe. This is why the Pe thought that she was better qualified than the Ayin, since the Pedut from Ima is clothed only in her and not in the Ayin, since the judgments are on the left line and not on the right line. He, the Creator, said, "You are comely, but Pesha, meaning crime or transgression, is written in you in concealment." It is so because all the redemptions during the 6,000 years are only in Vak of Mochin of Hayat. And this is because God of these Mochin, inner Avi, that operated in Nekudim, were hidden and will be revealed only at the end of correction, after the correction of the sin of the tree of knowledge that Adam Harishon sinned, drawing the upper Mochin to the separated Biyah below the Parsa, where there are no vessels of Ima but the restricted Malchut, the Parsa below Atzilut, where the bottom He of the first restriction now stands, ending the lights of Atzilut from spreading from her downward. By drawing the abundance below Parsa of Atzilut, a transgression was written in Nukva, when the serpent came over Eve and cast filth in her. This filth will be mended only at the end of correction, as it is written, quote, "Death shall be swallowed up forever, and the Lord God will wipe tears away from all faces," end quote. Since the lack of the Mochin of the inner Avi that were concealed is called tears. There are 2 tears that the Creator brings down to the great sea, corresponding to 2 eyes. These inner Hab, Hokmah Binah, that were hidden and gone. Eyes are Hokmah Binah, and tears are a deficiency in them, due to the filth that was mingled and was made into a tear through the sin of the tree of knowledge. This caused the ruin of 2 temples, and these tears are not wiped away from the face of the Nukva, unless when death is swallowed up forever, when the sin of the tree of knowledge is completely corrected, since transgression, death, will be corrected forever. At that time, God of Mochin of Hayah will illuminate, meaning the inner Hub, Hokmah Binah, and it follows that the Lord God has wiped the tear. He said to her, "You are comely, but Pesha, meaning crime or transgression, is written in you in concealment. Although there is Pedut in you through Ima, by which you bring redemption to the world, meaning Mochin of Hayat, through which all redemptions come. Yet those redemptions lack wholeness because they were re-exiled from their land, and the 2 temples were ruined once more, for Pesha is secretly written in you. It is so because the Pedut of Ima still cannot completely blot out the transgression of the sin of the tree of knowledge. Hence there is still gripping for the shells in you, since the Mochin are only from Vak of Hayah, and lack the Rosh of Mochin of Hayah. And since there is gripping to the shells in you, you are unfit for the world to be created by you." That ends the quote. Before we continue, let's refresh our intention of how to focus our intention around this sacred text with some more words from Dr. Michael Laitman.
And this revelation of this image of the Creator means that we will have the kalim, the vessels that will be filled with the light of Chokhmah. What is this light of Chokhmah? It fills us. We can't see anything. It all happens in one place within me, and there's nothing outside of creation. So what he can see is not like we see the world outside of us. The light of Chokhmah means that's what he can see, and the light of Binah, it means that's what he can hear. And then by himself, he has nothing.
Okay, we have a few more people that have joined us. Hello to Mabel from Mexico, Soren from Bucharest. I think we saw you from earlier. Hello from Puerto Rico, Cat Story from Virginia, Lisbeth from the Netherlands, and Mira from Michigan. Welcome all. Quote, the word pesha, meaning crime or transgression, is written in you in concealment, like a snake that strikes and pulls its head into its body. End quote. Since that transgression is hidden, the power of the snake, which strikes the people of the world and brings death to the world, is still in all its strength and cannot be removed. It is like a snake that bites a person and promptly pulls its head into its body, and then it is impossible to kill it, since the serpent is killed only when its head is hid. This is what he caused Adam to sin with the tree of knowledge, and to his sons, bending his head and stretching out his hands to sin. That is, the mochin that are drawn through the pedut of Ima are the bending of the head as well, and only his hands, Hagat, appear with that mochin. Thus, the hold of the serpent is still in the peh, for which she is unfit for the creation of the world with her, for she is not qualified for the end of correction. Okay, now we'll read the letter ayin. This is the letter ayin. Quote, and he also said to the letter ayin, in which the word avon, meaning sin or transgression, is written. And even though she said, there is anava, meaning humility or humbleness in me, the Creator told her, I will not create the world with you. Upper Ima is called anava. When Netza of Ziranpin, Ayin, dresses with the mochin in the nukva, she ascends and clothes upper Ima, and Ima adorns in her decorations. She said, quote, there is humbleness in me, since Ima, humbleness, is clothed in me. However, because of the pesha, meaning transgression concealed in those nesachot, the Creator said to Ayin, I will not create the world with you. The reason why pesha is called avon, meaning iniquity, here, and not pesha, as in the peh, is that the majority of the pesha is written in hod, peh, since hod of Ziranpin is from the incorporation of malchut in it, in which the shell is gripped by the force of the sin of the tree of knowledge. But netzach of Ziranpin is already the quality of Ziranpin itself, in which there is really no hold for the shells in him. Yet as we learn, when a thistle grows next to a cabbage, when one comes to pick it out, sometimes the cabbage is picked out with it. Thus he is flawed because of it. This is how the shells grip to Netzach too. This is why his corruption is regarded as iniquity in him, to indicate that in fact he is upright, but he was twisted by his connection with the hope. And the reason why it does not say about the letter ayin, quote, the letter ayin entered, as it says about all the other letters, but includes it with the peh, is because nesachot are two halves of the body. Hence both of them rose as one. But the Zohar explains the reason for each of them separately, one at a time. Okay, moving on to the letter Samek, which I don't think we will finish. But let's see. Item 28, the letter Samek. The letter Samek entered. She said to him, O Lord of the world, it is good for you to create the world with me, for in me there is semicha, meaning support for the fallen. As it is written, the Lord supports all who fall. He told her, because of that, you are needed in your place. Do not move away from it. For if you move from your place, in the word someh, supporting, what shall become of those fallen, since they rely on you? She promptly departed from him. Explanation. The letter Samech is Tiferet of Ziranpin, Bina of Guf. This is so because the names Kahab, Keter Chokmah Bina that turned into Chasadim in Ziranpin have changed into Hagat. Also Bina divided into two phases, Gar and Zat. The Gar in her became upper Avi, clothing from the Chazeh of Arikanpin and above, and are still regarded as Rosh of Arikanpin, even though they stand at his Guf, as they are light of Hasadim, as it is written, for he desires mercy. And since they do not receive light of Chokmah, even while they are Rosh, in the Rosh of Arikanpin, the exit from the Rosh does not diminish them at all, and they are still regarded as Rosh Arikanpin. They are called Samech because those Gar of Binah were established as Avi, and 6 Firot, Habad, Hagat, spread in them through the Chazeh. But Zata Bina, which are from the incorporation of Zon in Bina, and are not the actual Bina, were divided from Bina and became Partsut, Yeshsut, which clothe the 4 Sfirot, Tiferet Netzachot Yesod of Avi, from Chazeh of Avi and below. They need illumination of Chokmah to give to Zon. And since they departed the Rosh of Arikanpin into being a Guf and are devoid of Chokmah, they were blemished due to their exit and became Vak, lacking the Rosh. They are called blocked men, the letter men, since they take up only 4 Sfirot, Tiferet, Netzach, Hod, Yesod, of Avi, which dress there. Also, the division of Binah into Samech and blocked men was done in Binah of Arikanpin, who went outside the Rosh of Arikanpin and expanded in his Hagat through the bottom third of Tiferet in him, and they imparted all the Mochim to Zon. However, not all times are the same, since when the lower ones improve their actions and raise Man to Zon, and the Zon to Avi, Avi and Yeshut become one Partsut and rise to Arikanpin. They impart complete Mochim, illumination of Chokmah, from Arikanpin to Ziranpin, and from Ziranpin to the Nukva, which are 100 blessings, since the Samech, which is 60 in Gematria, which is upper Avi, became one with the blocked men, which is 40 in Gematria, which are Yesud, and together they add up to the number 100. Indeed, when the lower ones corrupt their works once more, the Mochim depart from the Zon and return to being Vak and Adat. Avi and Yeshut divide from one another. Upper Avi become Samech again. The 6 Sfirot, Chokmah, Bina, Da'at, Hesed, Geburah, Tiferet, each of which consists of 10, and Yeshut become a blocked men once more, Tiferet, Nesachot, Yesod of Avi. And when Zon are in Katnut of Vak and Adat, there is fear from the gripping of the shells, at which time they would fall from Atzilut to the separated Biyah. This is why Upper Avi give them of their Samech, where although these lights are only light of Hasadim, they are still considered pure air and Rosh. Hence the shell has no gripping on Zon during the Katnut as well, since those lights of Samech protect them. For this reason, these lights are called Samech, since they support the Zon from falling from Atzilut while they are in Katnut in Vak without a Rosh. The letter Samech said before him, quote, "For in me there is Senicha, support for the fallen, as it is written, the Lord supports all who fall." This was because she thought herself better qualified than all the letters preceding her, because the lights of Samek can shine for the zone even during their taknut, since they are only light of Hasadim, and there is no gripping of anything to the shells in these lights of Hasadim, since the external ones escape the lights of God, of Binah. For this reason, she considered her quality better suited to create the world in her, since she could protect the people of the world even while their actions were corrupted, and then there would be no gripping to the shells as well. The Creator told her, quote, because of that, you are needed in your place. Do not move away from it, end quote. In other words, since your place is to support the fallen, to protect them during the corruption of the people of the world, you must be only in this place and not move from it. If the world were to be created with you and your quality were to always have satisfying domination, those fallen ones, Zon, would remain forever in Katnut, and the lower ones would not awaken to raise Man, and all the great Mokin that should yield the end of correction would not appear. Hence you must remain only in your place, the place of correction, while the lower ones are unworthy. But when they merit, they will be able to draw the great Mokin from the entire level, 100 blessings. And the Creator told her, quote, for if you move out of your place in the word somek, meaning supporting, what shall become of those fallen? They would always remain fallen, forever needing your support. And since they are supported only by you, and the zone have no wholeness to stand on their own, you are unfit for the creation of the world with your quality. Okay, friends, it's been very good to be with you in this session. We are now at a new letter, and I think it's a good time to leave off. We also have a couple people from Tennessee and Victor from Kenya. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining this session. We will plan to see you all next week. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for joining. Good to see you all, and have a blessed day.
Thank you.